I'm Robin Will. I'm the Supervisory Refuge Ranger here at St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge. I started back as a young college student in 1976, assured that I wanted to study fisheries and be like Jacques Cousteau and explore the ocean. So I went into the Fish and Wildlife Service with a marine fisheries degree in mind. However, the jobs never really developed. And I found a passion even more exciting than marine ecology, and that was working with people outdoors. So I started working as a clerk typist with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in Washington, D.C., and I got caught up in the wave of connecting children to the outdoors back in the 70s. Yes, back in the 70s when Earth Day was just getting started. We all thought there was so much potential to expose people to the outdoors. My mom was a Girl Scout leader, so of course I had to go to Brownies and I had to be a Girl Scout with my mom, and she got me started on all kinds of wonderful things, campfire songs, we went hiking and we went camping with national parks, and finally my dad said, I think this park ranger thing might be up your alley, because you just really enjoy all the things with working with children and people. And he was right. I love going out with Joe Ryman, our biologist, and looking at red-cockaded woodpeckers and maybe even holding a snake or two over my 40-some year career. But when it comes to really exciting me is when I see people get turned on by being outdoors and loving this refuge. This refuge has always been an oasis to me. When I came down here as a college student, it was a way to get away from the pressures of finals and school and social expectations. And now that I've been here for so long, it is a part of my home. And the people I work with are like part of my family. I have grown up with them since I was in my early 20s until now, until my young and vibrant 60s. Behind me is a really important part of my development here at St. Mark's. When I was first hired in the 70s, I had a little cardboard box that had shells and feathers and pine cones and other things in it. And I would merrily go around to schools and other places, and they would let me talk about how exciting it was to learn about the outdoors. I found out when I first got hired that we were going to be building this building behind me, this office visitor center, with bicentennial land heritage money. And that was a huge project back in the bicentennial year of 1976, when the Department of Interior got a lot of money to improve facilities on public lands. And St. Mark's inherited the money. We got this gorgeous building. All of a sudden I was in charge of writing exhibits and developing programs and things that really, as a biology major, I didn't have much expertise. So I depended on the kindness of Wilderness Graphics and other wonderful partners to create the exhibits and the visitor center that we have today. I also started the volunteer program in the late 1980s because I realized we needed a lot of help. We had people coming here in the hundreds of thousands, and it was just me. So the volunteer program got started. Pretty soon, a few of them, like Gail Fishman, turned around and said, "Hey, what's the deal with this Friends group, and how do we start one of these?" I said, I don't know. I guess we'll look into it and see what's involved. The next thing I know, I have one of the best Friends group in the country, started in 1987 as the St. Mark's Refuge Association. And here we are decades later, still putting forth amazing amounts of advocacy and passion for St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge. The lands, the waters, the wildlife, the people. I cannot say enough about my volunteers and my Friends group. People say, well, aren't you proud of having 3 beautiful daughters? Yes, I am. But after I say that, I say the volunteers and the Friends are 2 of my other most significant accomplishments. I'm very proud of everything that they've done for the refuge, and I hope one day I'll be able to come back and maybe be a productive volunteer. And if it's one thing that this pandemic has shown us is that people need the outdoors more than ever before. We have visitors coming that have never stepped foot on this refuge, and they're coming to fish and hike and take pictures and see beautiful wildlife and beautiful landscapes to escape the pressures of being inside their house all the time during the pandemic. I see children spending time outdoors with their families for the first time because they weren't going back to school last spring. I'm hearing stories of people reaching out and wanting to learn more about what they're seeing and experiencing. This is wonderful. If anything, leaving a legacy of people hungry for the outdoors is exactly what I want and what other people retiring. We see the future as being bright, bright, bright for St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge. I have a favorite quote from John Muir, who wrote this in his book, The Yosemite, in 1912. Everybody needs beauty as well as bread, places to play in and pray in, where nature may heal and give strength to body and soul alike. And I agree. Please, please enjoy St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge.